I made a whole video on this, and I don't know why, but it won't upload to YouTube. So I'm going to try it again, and let's see what happens.
Do you think that that's like an innocuous task, having children?
No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying, like, you said, like, a girl going out. So if a girl is going on work, then also people are going to look at her, you know?
Yeah, so I wouldn't look for that.
You want a girl to be just sitting, like, being a housewife, or a girl being, like, out working?
No, housewife. Yeah.
Housewife.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Well, I know it's weird because you're looking at it through the prism of a woman. You're looking at it as a woman who wants a man to be working. Whereas when we look at women, it doesn't really matter to us. If you're not...
And what if she want to work?
If she wants to work, she can. Absolutely.
But then they're going to be same problem, the insecurities and everything. Like,
what do you mean insecurities?
That's what you said. She's going to go out and a lot of people are going to see her and same insecurities.
Oh, look, I'm not talking about seeing you from day to day. I'm talking about being a celebrity. That would be just a headache. I wouldn't want that.
If she is beautiful, I think then also it's got problem at the work too. If she is beautiful.
Well, look, ideally.
From anywhere.
Ideally, what you'd like is a woman who just works part-time but then focuses on the kids.
Real quick, something you're going to notice throughout this entire clip is the women. It's a continuous pattern. And it's very consistent. It's always about me. It's never we. And you'll hear Rattlesnake. Shout out to you, brother. It's always we. But with all these women, it's always me. Listen.
If she's got something she's passionate about, that's a good thing. You want them to have hobbies and to be interesting and have lots of interests. But you don't necessarily want them to be working 9 to 5 and going every day to work. Because then it neglects the children, and the children have to go to childcare.
So you want like a part-time job for her, and that's okay for you, right?
A part-time job would be okay, but ideally not.
So it really is a turn-off if a woman like wants like a tedious job, like a time-consuming job, or a job where she's in the spotlight.
Why would she want that?
Why would you want that?
What do you mean?
She has a right to, like, she can.
I know she's got a right to, but why would you want that?
Imagine how much propaganda it took to convince generations of women that being a stay-at-home mom is oppressive.
So if your husband earns enough money for you to not have to go to work, why would you want to go to work if your husband says you don't have to work?
Well, for me, I want to pursue a career in something that I'm passionate for. For example, like in the beginning, I told you guys I wanted to study immunology and become a professor. It takes a lot of time, that's time consuming. But that's what I'm passionate about. And, like, that's what I want to do. Like, I have so much passion for this in this lifetime. And I understand men would feel the same.
Okay.
I would feel like
that's good, though. That's your prerogative, and that's no problem. But you guys were looking around like I was strange because I said I wanted a woman who didn't want to have a career. Mm-hmm. Why is my preference strange, but yours is not?
Because I think it suppresses a woman's urges. But if you find a woman...
Do you think that a woman has an urge to have children and to raise those children?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't think it suppresses the urges. I think it frees her to have children.
I want to add to this, and I do want to say I have no issue if women want to pursue a career. I don't
want to
object
skip
to it.
Brian's part here, but I'm not going to.
I don't think Jake does either. I think, but from a dating perspective, and I kind of stepped away there for a second. I don't think a woman's career, her ambition, how much money she makes, for me, and I think for perhaps a lot of men, I don't think most men really find it more attractive. Now, I do want to just add a caveat here, so you don't think I'm a raging asshole. I actually am very much in favor of women, for example, going into STEM. Mm-hmm. I actually think it's a very
down below.
Useful
it's true.
Career path because, for example, take cancer, for example, or take various diseases that we don't have solutions to yet. I think we should be throwing all of our intellectual vigor at these problems, whether that is a man, women, or both. I think we should be using exploiting is not the right term. Well, we should be exploiting the intellectual power of everyone that we can to solve these problems, which I do think eventually will have a solution. I think everyone here has probably known somebody who's had cancer or has a family member who's had cancer or some sort of disease. So I'm very much in favor, actually, of women getting into STEM so we can tackle these various ailments that people eventually come across. But from a purely romantic perspective, I don't think men really care all that much about a woman's income or
Like, yeah, we don't. Sorry, women, but we don't. It's, again, if you women want to go out there and be independent boss babes and this and that, that's fine. But I'm telling you right now, the man that you want to have kids with and marry and die with and take their last name is not going to want you back, because men that you want are not going to want you. I'm sorry, ladies, but hey, life isn't fair. In men and gentlemen, life isn't fair. Okay? This is something I've noticed too with the society now. Okay, I'm 34. I'll be 35 in March. I find it odd that a lot of people are, how did I word this earlier in the video? Oh yeah. So I grew up with a saying, get comfortable being uncomfortable. And I think we have a society nowadays that so many people, like a large number, like 85% plus, in all countries all across the globe, are so comfortable that they don't even want to be uncomfortable. And that's a bad thing. Think about where we are at today and how we got to where we are at today. I wouldn't have the privilege of recording this video and sitting on my phone and talking through it if it wasn't for the men and women that were before me and in the present and in the future that are fighting for our species and on the front lines, and whether it's cyber now and all this and that. Imagine how it took us to get to where we are right now. All that suffering, all that uncomfortability. It's a good thing, okay? Now, I'm not saying that those times were good, but what I'm saying is that, I don't know, seems to be that, hey, I know for a fact that I'm in a very privileged position, and I thank God and everybody for that. But again, you'll notice with this video, with these women, it's always about me. It's never we.
I'd care more about her having interests, a thing that she's passionate about. And if she's running a little business that's operating at a loss and that keeps her happy and interested, I'm happy with that. But having a 9-to-5 job while you're trying to raise children, for me, it wouldn't be something that I'd like, because you'd want them to be focused on the children. And I think that a lot of guys have that preference, but they're sort of not allowed to say it these days, because then they get all the women who jump down their throat and say, oh, you want us to be, chained up to an oven. No. There are a lot of women out there who hear that and think, yes, I would love to do that. I would love to just be a mother, love to stay home. But then there's always this reaction when we say that, where people sort of, especially, no offense, but women who consider themselves feminists, they get like up in arms about it. And there's a lot of women who love that, who want that.
A lot of that has to do with propaganda.
Thank you, Super Jim Photography, for the 10 subs on Twitch. Thank you.
When a woman is pregnant to the first year of the baby, still she feeds the baby. I got it, she can stay home and she needs the proper care, and kids need that to be mom to be around. But I think it should be on the man too, equally taking care of the kid.
God, it's so, I sound like a broken record, because it just blows my mind how women just can't comprehend this. When you talk about it being equal, it is equal, okay? You play to each other's strengths. You carry a baby in your stomach for 9 months, 8-9 months, whatever it is. A man is never going to have that bond with that child like a mother will, especially when they're a newborn. I think it's very crucial for the mother to be with that newborn child until that child is maybe 3, 4, 5, somewhere in that area. I'm not saying that the father shouldn't be there, but the father should be focusing on work and earning money to make sure that his family can be comfortable and be okay. And it's a woman's job to raise the kid or children. So if any woman has made it this far in my video, I have a question. So talking about a 9-to-5 job, right? Obviously, because, the older the kid gets or the older the children get, they go to school earlier and then they come home earlier, right? Wouldn't you prefer to be able to take your child or children to school and pick them up from school each and every day? Wouldn't you prefer to do that? I don't know about you, but I'm a father, and I would prefer to do that. I'm going back to what I said earlier. I'm in a very privileged position right now. I have my own company and this and that. It's seasonal, so in the wintertime, I'm able to take my son to school and pick him up most of the time, unless I have to like plow snow, shovel, whatever the case may be. Because a lot can change, especially when you're a business owner, which a lot of people don't understand. I'm not going to go into that. But I don't understand why it's so hard for women to understand that life isn't equal. The world isn't fair, okay? You think I want to get up every day and run a company, and I have people that I have to pay. Like, I have people that I have to get jobs for, so that way they can have a paycheck, so they can take their paycheck home and for their family, and that way their family can have fun and do stuff in this and that. Like, I don't understand. I think most women have such a hard time with conveying any kind of information and not taking it personal. I think it's very strange to me. But I mean, again, this goes with evolutionary psychology. That's a whole different topic. I'm not going to get into it. But again, hey, if you want to be a stay-at-home boss babe and you want to go and make whatever the case may be and never see your children at all and this and that, and you want to have a stay-at-home husband or whatever and this and that, then that's fine. But I'm telling you right now, the man, when you're an independent boss babe, down the road, the man that you want and need in your life is not going to be that man that's a stay-at-home father. It's just not going to happen. Sorry, but again, life isn't fair.
No, not during child rearing. Not during the infancy of the child.
Why do you
Because
think
the
that?
child's attached to its mother. It's biology.
The
Child needs its mother's teaching.
I got it
like,
for one.
also too, like literally attached. That's why breastfeeding is a thing. Like, I don't understand why this is so hard for the most women nowadays to understand. But again, I think a lot of it has to do with propaganda. Like I said earlier in the video, imagine how much propaganda it took to make generations of women believe, feel, and think that being a stay-at-home mom is oppressive. As a man, a stay-at-home mom is possibly one of the most attractive things that any woman can do.
A baby is feeding. Okay, the mom has to be close, but I think it's equal responsibility. It gets
Look,
you together.
Put it this way. Do you see what's happening in the schools these days?
What's going on? I'm teaching.
Do you see the kinds of things that they're teaching in schools these days?
What they are
or in
teaching?
preschools? They've got all kinds of different nefarious flags hanging up around the preschools where they're indoctrinating little kids into different ideologies. Okay, so if you're somebody who has certain conservative values, like I do not want my kids being shipped off. I want them to have my values. So I want them to be at home with my wife, potentially even being homeschooled, depending on how bad this stuff gets.
You didn't get my point. I'm trying to say is like you are reducing her working hours because you want her to focus on kids. But I think
I'm not reducing her. Listen, I'm not reducing.
He's not reducing her working hours because you wouldn't have to be working anyways. It's also why there's a thing called maternity leave. But you know what would be really cool? You know what would be awesome? You know what would be like awesome? Like how they had this back in the day, where a company didn't have to pay either or for maternity leave, and the mother just had the luxury of just staying at home and raising the kid like it's supposed to be. Okay? That's your maternity leave. Having the luxury to just stay at home and take care of your kid. And you don't have to worry about when you got to go back to work. Because your working hours, I don't understand why. Dude, this girl, I think she said she's a teacher. Girl, you need to get out of there.
Reducing her working hours, she won't want to work. Do you think that that's like crazy that a woman wouldn't want to work?
Trying to
And there's
say
nannies too that can stay home.
I don't want a nanny
No,
raising my kid.
no,
I want
that's not
a nanny
good.
raising my kid.
All right, look.
I mean-
Okay, so I'm going to put this into perspective. I was raised, so my mother and my father worked a lot growing up. I'm not going to say what they do. Man, talking about my mom, that's hard. So real quick, the reason why I say it's hard is because my mother passed away about 7 months ago. Unexpectedly. I really miss taking care of her. I really miss it. But anyways, I'm not gonna. Oh man, hold on. Okay. So anyways, so I was raised by a babysitter basically for like through grade school and most of middle school until I was able to get my own vehicle. I don't think it was a bad thing, but I do wish that I could have been raised, me and my little brother could have been raised by my mother being a stay-at-home mom and my dad just worked. I think that would have been a much better thing. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I asked my mom in the past if in her ideal scenario, if she could, would she prefer to be a stay-at-home mom and not have the career she had. My mom was extremely smart and very wise, very conservative and everything, but she knew that she had to have. I mean, this is the way the economy is too. So I get it. Like I get it, but just like imagine if, let's just say every single woman on the planet, or even just in America, just decided to just quit their jobs and stop working and finding a man to have a kid with or children with, right? You would open up so many jobs for other men, and that would give a lot of men a lot more purpose. I think our society would be much better that way. But going back to what I was saying about my mom, she told me that she would much have preferred to be a stay-at-home mom and not outsourced me and my little brother to a babysitter. Now I love my babysitter. I mean, I'm not going to say her name, but she is a saint. Her and her husband and her kids and everything, and amazing people. But I do believe that that's what's supposed to happen. I believe that a mother should be a stay-at-home mom. I think that that's how it should be.
I don't either. I think there's a complete honesty to that. I think I used to, a few years ago, or the last maybe 2 years, I would have been this more, I still wouldn't call myself feminist, but I had a wall up against men, and I was a little angry about some things that I went through. And so I was like, I'm independent. I can be very independent. I have been for the last few years. I've been by myself, been doing my own thing, taking care of myself. And it wasn't until this year that that is flipping for me, and that I have realized that I have worn myself out. I don't want to be like this anymore. I mean, I want to be able to take care of myself, and now I know I can take care of myself, but I do want that.
Well, I mean,
to be able to go into our feminine is to be able
once you get a
be
little bit
taken
older,
care of.
towards the wall that they call it, that's when you start seeking masculine guidance more.
Yeah, it is interesting that it kind of is flipping, that it used to be that way, and
but
then
the reason why
very feminine forward, and it is kind of
the reason why it is that way though is because the indoctrination is so vast that it's like you're fighting me about saying that you're going to reduce your wife's working hours.
I'm not fighting with you. Very first thing is like, I'm just putting my opinion. Like
no, but you're saying to me you're going to reduce her working hours.
No, that's
as if like that's a bad thing.
No, it's a very basic thing.
Okay, hold on.
Like,
She literally said that. She literally said she's gonna. Hold on, let me see if I can rewind this and go back to that part where she said that. To reduce her working hours. She literally said that. Let's see.
on kids, but I think
I'm not reducing her.
Okay, yeah, hold on. Here it is. So, 6:17. Let's see here. We'll go to 6 minutes here.
Is like I do not want my kids being shipped off. I want them to have my values. So I want them to be at home with my wife, potentially even being homeschooled, depending on how bad this stuff gets.
You didn't get my point. I'm trying to say is like you are reducing her working hours because you want her to.
Okay, hear that? Okay, hold on. Let me rewind it real quick again. There.
Potentially even being homeschooled, depending on how bad this stuff gets.
You didn't get my point. I'm trying to say is like you are reducing her working hours.
Okay, hold on. Okay, she said it right. She literally said word for word, reducing her working hours, and then in the same breath. Let's see. Hold on.
Worn myself out. I don't want to be like this anymore. I mean, I want to be able to take care of myself, and now I know I can take care of myself, but I do want that.
Well, I mean,
to be able to go into our feminine is to be able
once you get a
be
little bit
taken
older,
care of.
towards the wall that they call it, that's when you start seeking masculine guidance more.
Yeah, it is interesting that it kind of is flipping, that it
Yeah.
used to be that way, and
But
then
the
it
reason
went
why
very
is
feminine forward, and it is kind of
the
going
reason why
back
it is that
into-
way though is because like
Yeah.
the indoctrination is so vast that it's like you're fighting me about saying that you're going to reduce your
I'm
wife's
not
working
fighting
hours.
with, I'm not fighting with you. Very first thing is like I'm
Listen,
just putting my opinion. Like
No, but
what if-
you're saying to me you're going to reduce her working hours.
no, that's
Yeah,
what
as
you
if
said.
like that's
You
a bad
want her
thing.
to.
You literally just said that. Okay, so hold on. 7:40. Okay, so let's go back to 6. What was it, like 6:10ish or something here? Let's see.
To say is like you are reducing her working hours.
Yeah. Okay. Now 7. Jeez, I don't understand. Like, it's crazy.
Is so vast that it's like you're fighting me about saying that you're going to reduce your
I'm
wife's
not
working
fighting
hours.
with, I'm not fighting with you. Very first thing is like I'm
Listen,
just putting my opinion. Like
No, but
what if?
you're saying to me you're going to reduce her working hours.
No, that's
Yeah,
what
as
you
if
said.
like that's
You
a bad
want her
thing.
to. No,
You literally said that, girl. Okay? You literally said that. This girl has the memory of a goldfish. That is what, 1 minute, like a minute and a half ago, and she doesn't even remember her own 3 words? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And you're a teacher. You're a teacher, you said. You have the memory of a goldfish.
it's a very basic thing. Like I would say, kid needs like both mom and dad both.
No
You want
shit.
a mother to take care of the kids and focus on them,
Bro,
on
I-
the values. They should not feel alone. Everything, cultural value, whatever you want to put in the kids. But I think it's from the both side. It should be from the both side.
You think.
Not only
Okay?
like
'Cause you
from
don't
the
know
mother.
shit.
It should be like from the father as well.
It's the
Equal
father's job to
time.
provide for his family.
But yeah, she's
The
working
emotional
too.
support of the
That's
child and the
why-
love of the child needs to come from the mother.
That's what you think.
That's what.
That's just
you
like
think.
one of
Yeah.
Women can
I guess
That's just what you think.
That's what you think, Chase.
I guess
Maybe-
throughout history from time immemorial is all wrong, and it's actually the women who are the providers after all, and men
We
are
are
the
not
nurturers.
saying that it's equal. Like you have a wife, or like I have a partner. So I want to get married when I will be in the equal status. Like I will be having a.
Like, why wouldn't she say that she's in a relationship, or I have a boyfriend, I have a part? It's like, bro, this society is so strange. It's like words don't have meanings anymore. Like, I can't stand it. I'm not a Christian or anything. I mean, I believe in a higher power and stuff, but I can't stand it when like an OF model is wearing a cross. And then she's like, oh, I just wear it because it looks cute. Do you realize what you just said and what you're wearing and what it resembles? You are the biggest degenerate of degenerates at being an OF model or even having one. And you have the audacity to wear a cross? Get out of here.
Good job, or my business is good. Whatever.
Would you want to work full time when you're pregnant?
No, I didn't
Okay,
say
well,
that.
there you
Listen
go.
to me first. What I'm trying to say.
So you're not equal
No,
though,
we're
because
not
your
gonna-
wife, your husband.
We're not going to listen to you because you literally said reducing her working hours, and then not even a minute and a half goes by and you said, no, that's not what I said. That is literally what you said. That's literally what you said. Word for word. You have the memory of a goldfish. I would be surprised if you're not blonde underneath that brunette hair. Holy.
Is going to be the provider. If you
That's
can
what
be
I am
pregnant,
saying. Like at what time when there is no equality, I'm saying you're not pregnant. That's why you have to go out and.
exactly. That's why
Yeah.
the man needs
But
to be
what
the
I'm saying
provider.
is after that, take care of the baby together.
What if you want to have 3 babies?
So what?
So then the man has to be the provider because you're going to take time out.
If I take it on me, I'm not giving birth to 3 kids. I'm gonna be stick to like 1 or 2. Then what?
There it is. There it is. It's all about me. It's never we. Unbelievable. Please like and subscribe. If anybody's made it this far, put comments down about the question I asked about the 9 to 5, being a stay-at-home mom. Again, like, I'm not against women going out and having a career and being an independent boss babe. But don't be surprised that the man that you want, need, and desire to have in your life doesn't want you back. Because sorry, ladies, but I don't know. I genuinely believe it's starting to become time, and this is going to be a controversial take, but I am going to say it anyways. It's starting to get to the point to where I really think the majority of men need to wake up, rise up, and we need to put women in their place and make them recognize their purpose again on this planet, and that is to nurture and care and bear children. And men's purpose is to provide and protect. Because I don't know about y'all, but I don't know any man that wants to be a stay-at-home dad. I don't know any man that wakes up every morning and is like, yeah, I want to be. Men, we are meant to go out and work and provide and protect. That's why we're the bigger, stronger gender, and y'all are the weaker and smaller gender. Wait, did I say smaller? But men are the larger. Wow. All right, again, please like and subscribe, everybody. Thank you very much. I am going to go fishing. Wish me luck. Whoop.